Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode. Today, I have the great pleasure. I'm interviewing Peter, founder of Mountain Drop. He is like built an awesome business around Shilajit and many other Shilajit-based products. Hi, Peter. Welcome.
Hi, Andreas. Thank you for welcoming me.
Thank you for being here and taking the time to talk with me. So, tell us a little bit about your journey in founding Mountain Drop in the first place. Like, what inspired you to found Mountain Drop and to get into the business of Shilajit?
It was around 15 years ago. I was walking in nature and I was thinking, what can I do to have a better fulfilled life by myself and also for others? And I remembered that when I was a child, I have one chronic bronchial asthma. And everybody told me that I cannot cure it at all. And then I started lifting weights when I was 17, 18. I started doing meditation. And in 1 or 2 years, it was gone. And then I realized that we have huge potential in our body. Only what we need to do to fill it with right ingredients, because whatever we eat became a part of our body. And if we eat garbage, then this is part of our body. And then I realized that there are a lot of people all over the world. They have different ways of thinking, different religions and all these things. And I was thinking, how can I help them without interrupting too much their beliefs and all these things? And it came to my mind an idea that if the food was as it was 100 or 200 years ago, there is no need for any of food supplements because everything is in the food. But then I read one article. They analyzed what is inside the milk of breastfeeding mothers, and they found in each milk kerosene from airplanes. And then I was thinking, there is no any normal place on planet Earth that it is not contaminated with what people do to this planet. And the journey went me to SHILAJIT, that it is in high mountains, Altai 3,000 meters or Himalaya 5,000 meters and above. And these were the only places that I find out that is not so much contaminated with people. And because it is high level, you cannot come there by car. You need to go or by horse or by foot. And what I did, I ordered few samples of SHILAJIT of different suppliers. And I gave it to different persons who use this energy measurement with pendulum, because I realized from my past experience that if the material has a lot of energy and clean energy, that it will have a huge impact on human body. I found quite a lot of suppliers claiming that their SHILAJIT is the best, but when I measured them, not me, but the people that I gave them, this was not the result. So what I did two things. One thing it is, I sent one batch to laboratory to get the result of heavy metals and all these things. And another sample went to these people because I want to have at least 3 different measurements to be sure. And then on the end, I didn't check what was the buying price. I was only checking what was the quality, because I realized from the past, if the quality is great, it will have an impact. And it was around, as I said, 15 years ago. Before I started with Mountain Drop, I use it by myself. And after first day, nothing. Second day, nothing. Third day, nothing. I was thinking, okay, this is nothing that will going on. But then after 4 or 5 days, I felt quite huge increase in libido, energy, and all these things.
Mhm.
I said, okay, something is going on. But then I said, okay, maybe it's not, it's maybe just me. And I ordered and I did 100 samples and I gave it to 100 people for free. And I said, look, I give you these things for free. I don't need anything in return. The only thing that I am asking you is that you gave me a sincere feedback after 1 month or 2 months of using it. And when I got these feedbacks, I said, this is it. And this is how the story of Mountain Drop started. So
Amazing.
the story was not established. I need more money. I will earn this money. Let's see what people are buying. Okay, I will buy this for this price. I will sell this for this price. This I will earn. This is my business model. No, it went totally differently. It went this way. Okay, what can I do for myself? How can I help others? And with all these things, the story started growing. And I realized from the beginning that 15 years ago, there was only one company in the United States selling SHILAJIT in its pure form, like we are having. Now, there are a lot of companies doing this.
Absolutely.
And yes, and I'm happy for them because if people are selling the good things, it's good because they are helping people.
Yeah.
The only problem it is that some of them are very good in marketing, but the material is not as it should be. And this is the pity of the business, because people do things like, okay, we will help people, but behind this is only money. And this is really a pity, because this puts bad light to everybody of us who are doing good things with good intentions.
Yes.
And then I find out people are using our certificates. They are stealing certificates from our web page and putting it on their web page, and these are their certificates. So people are doing really crazy things. I do not know why. But
you basically, sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to mention that this is like what you said about that it sheds a bad light on the SHILAJIT industry. This reminds me of the personal training and coaching industry as well, where if one individual goes to a coach and they have a bad experience, it leaves them a bad taste in the mouth about the personal training industry in general. They feel like all coaches are the same. Like if you ruin it the first time, the very first experience that person has, if that's the first time they ever experience SHILAJIT or they ever experience coaching or personal training, and they have a bad experience, then they feel like, the whole world is like this. And this is why companies have a huge responsibility, as you mentioned, to source, the highest quality. And I can testify myself that that yours is a very, very high quality. And I know that for a fact, because I've been taking SHILAJIT for many years and I've tried various different SHILAJITs over the years. And yours has a very distinct texture, aroma, color, everything about it. It's just tastes totally pure and really natural. And I actually feel the benefits when I take it. And I remember the very first time when I took SHILAJIT, it was Mountain Drop SHILAJIT the first time actually. And I think I was maybe so deficient in some certain minerals or something. When I remember when I drank the glass, I sort of got a little bit of it almost threw me, I got really dizzy or something, and then afterwards I started to get all of this energy because I feel that my cells were getting something that they had been missing for a really long time.
Yes, and this was the main idea behind all these things. It's not somebody has some disease and then you gave him some medicine to cure this disease. Now, our body has huge potential of healing it by itself. The only what we need to do, we need to take care of it, and we need to give him what the body really needs.
Exactly.
And I was reading researches that huge problem in traditional world. It is health problems people having because of processed food and sugars, and this addiction because of sugar. And I can tell you one thing. I'm now 50 years old. I started do it fasting 1.5 years ago. Now I'm doing every day. In window 6 to 8 hours I'm eating. In window 16 or 18 hours I'm not eating.
Intermittent fasting.
Yes, intermediate fasting. Every week I do 48 hours without food.
Wow.
Every month I prolonged 48 hours, 2 days, to 72 hours.
Yeah.
And I measured my biological age yesterday. After 72 hours of fasting, my biological age was 28. And it dropped in 3 days from, I think, 42 to 28. I know that this measurement, they are not 100% correct, but
still pretty impressive.
Yes, and I find out that it's not only what we eat that we give our body these nutrients, but it's also to left our body to heal by itself, not to put anything inside.
The absence of food and the absence of things. Yeah, this is something really great that I tell people all the time, that it's not so much about what are you putting in, but what are you getting rid of from your life? Because, so much we are intoxicating our system like all the time, right? For example, yes, one person who is like deficient in certain things will benefit from taking SHILAJIT, but they will feel even better if their other areas of life were more enhanced, right? So for example, if they got rid of the junk food, if they exercised more, if they spend more time outside in nature and connected, like, going for a swim or getting grounded, the effects, you feel them enhanced, like it's amplified, correct?
Yes, and this is the major thing. It means that add to your natural lifestyle. It is not, I will take SHILAJIT or some other supplements and I will do the same as I did before. No. The importance and let's say how you live your life is the most important thing. And then you add to your life whatever you want. And the thing behind SHILAJIT, it is that it gives human body nutrients that are missing in our foods.
Yeah, exactly.
People think if I eat, my body will get nutrients. No.
Exactly. Yeah.
The problem with processed food and all this pollution that we are doing, it is that we are getting the food inside, but there is no nutrients, and the body is missing these things. And when you gave your body the nutrients that it should be in the food, the body gets it through SHILAJIT or some other substance, then the body feels, wow, now I can do something. Now I can do repair. Yes, I can do something. And this is the reason. That means it's not, I take SHILAJIT and SHILAJIT will cure or do something. No. I take this, and because my body received the nutrients needed, body will do what must be done.
Exactly. Yeah, the thing is, like, what I have read about SHILAJIT is that it contains like all the minerals and everything in perfect balance in the way that nature intended it. So how these days we can take like single compounds of specific minerals like zinc, copper, magnesium, whatever. We can take them in huge doses as we can create imbalances in the system. But the beauty of SHILAJIT, it comes like in a balanced form, right?
Yes.
Ratio.
This is true. And there is also another thing, that because you are not taking SHILAJIT huge amounts, they are small amounts, it may happen that some minerals inside are not enough for somebody because you are not taking it. But what I can tell from my experience and from experience from others, it's not important how much you take inside. The most important thing is how much things are absorbed in your body.
Exactly. Yeah.
The similar thing it is with VO2 max. We are everybody breathing, but somebody is using only 20% of the oxygen. another is using 50, 60, 70, 80. So on the end, it's not only what I eat, but how this what I eat goes into my body. Do my cells get the nutrients that I put inside or not? And here something what I can say, it's also very good to to reach even more that SHILAJIT comes to the cells is to mix it with ghee or honey. This is something that also helps that SHILAJIT is much more absorbed into the body.
Okay, that's really cool to know. Before we get into that, let's rewind a little bit. Let's go back, like, what is SHILAJIT in the first place so people can understand, because maybe somebody has never heard about SHILAJIT before. Like, what is it?
Yes, SHILAJIT is one black substance found in mountains like Altai, like Himalaya, and it is only in these few places on planet Earth. In no other mountains they did not find SHILAJIT. What is really interesting, what was interesting for me in the beginning, it was that it cannot be made in laboratory. You cannot do it artificially. And nobody until now...
I wouldn't want to take that.
And nobody until now knows how SHILAJIT was produced at first place. There are different theories, and one of the and there is one interesting thing. One researcher found that SHILAJIT includes something that is like from the past oceans, when the mountains were building from the ground by itself, that there is something fossil from some I don't know, or it was animals or it was some herbs, but that there are some in all this SHILAJIT and in all these mountains, some fossils from ancient time. And maybe this is something that is also a part of this creation of SHILAJIT. But until now, nobody has the exact formula how Mother Nature is doing these things. And what is very interesting, it is that it is made quite a long time. Somebody are saying 10,000 years, and other people millions of years. And they found this in these mountains, this black thing, SHILAJIT, mixed together with stones. So there's like a conglomerate, like stones mixed with this SHILAJIT. And then what they do? Then they clean all these stones and all these things, so that on the end only SHILAJIT remains. And for me, what for me was very interesting, it was that this is something pure natural. People did not do a lot of damage on 3,000, 5,000 meters. We killed almost everything in the sea, almost everything in the ground. And then this is coming back to us, because the oxygen we are breathing comes from the oxygen produced by oceans, the algae that they are producing, the trees. And if we pollute all the trees, all the oceans, what we will be breathing, it is the result of what we did to Mother Nature. And when I find out that these places exist, and then I said, okay, this is something that can be really very helpful. And what I can say, I'm the most happy when I got feedback from people that their life is better because they feel differently. And this is something that is pushing me forward in the story.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. You know, something that really fascinates me about SHILAJIT when I read about it is that there are some really great reviews or studies where they say that people who do high altitude climbing, they really benefit from SHILAJIT. And it's fascinating to me that the high altitude climbers are the ones who benefit when you find SHILAJIT at high altitude. So it's almost like Mother Nature planted it there for you to carry on your journey, to keep on going, you know, to the top.
Yes, this is really amazing.
So basically, like, could you tell us where do the benefits of SHILAJIT come from? Like, do you know, like, the specific compounds within SHILAJIT that actually Like, how does it actually work inside of the body that it provides all the benefits, and what can people expect? Like, what can they feel when they start taking it?
So what I can say, in SHILAJIT, there is almost the whole periodic table of elements that are in Mother Nature. So there are a lot of vitamins, minerals, and but the most important things is something called DCP and DBP. It is like desoxypyrone and something like this. Mm-hmm. And these are the compounds that help producing ATP, what is the major source for the energy that we are having. And what I can say, it has also very good impact on the gas, how is it called?
The gas exchange.
No. It is when we eat food, it goes to our stomach and
digestive system.
Yes. So to all digestive system, from the mouth to the end, it is very good. I got feedback from people who have problems with any part of digestion system that they feel much better. A lot of people, they stopped drinking coffee when they started using SHILAJIT because
it's very strong. I have to say that it's a very particular flavor. So we like people who have never tried it before, like you need to give it a little bit of like time to get used to it. Like, do you have like any tips for any people who are just starting?
Yes, as I said, it is written in Ayurveda that very great combination with SHILAJIT is ghee and honey. And
yeah, delicious.
Yes, and if you mix it with your favorite tea, put 1 or 2 spoons of honey, it's perfect drink. But if you really want to feel the strongest effect, it is the best to put SHILAJIT directly under the tongue and leave it, that saliva dissolve it, and because the absorption begins immediately already under the tongue. Yeah. So I know that for some people the taste may be bitter, but what I can tell from the experience, not from only from myself, but also from other people, they get used very quickly for the to this taste. So yes. There are some people who cannot do it. They need to mix it and add honey, but I can say around 80-90% of people get used to it very quickly, and they can, without any problems, put it under the tongue.
Exactly. You know, like I have had this experience with many other things, like over time, like whether that it's herbal supplements or even some certain food that I don't like, maybe like, I don't know, sardines or tuna. And, you know, when you start to read about the benefits, it motivates you, it inspires you. So like now that I know so much about SHILAJIT, like for me anyway, I find the strong taste. It's something so unique and different. Like there is nothing else on the planet that tastes like SHILAJIT, really. Like, so it's something that you almost like a ritual for me. I love to make it like in the morning time. I wake up, I use the bathroom, I put it straight away in my glass of water, I let it dissolve, like I watch the sunrise, and I basically drink my SHILAJIT, and that's literally the first thing like in my digestive tract, and it feels like such a great ritual for me, you know.
Yes, and I think that I read also that in the past also people use it before they went to meditation, because you can use the energy that you are having for whatever you want. And if you take the SHILAJIT, you get this energy. You can also use it for meditation and all these things. And that I do not forget, there are also some acids inside the SHILAJIT that are quite interesting. One is humic acid, but the most important one is fulvic acid. Yeah. And what I can say, the percentage of fulvic acid in our SHILAJIT is around 70%, 70 to 80, depends to time of harvesting in the area from where we are getting it. A lot of SHILAJIT on the market has fulvic acid only 47%. So, and why is this fulvic acid so important? Because it helps absorption of other nutrients in the body. Exactly. And according to Ayurveda, they if people got some problems, they gave them some herbs plus SHILAJIT to enhance the results of these herbs. Yeah. Because the absorption is better, the body absorbs more, and this is also one very good thing inside the SHILAJIT called fulvic acid.
Exactly. And which part of SHILAJIT is responsible for the detoxification abilities, like the binding abilities?
It is also fulvic acid.
Okay, so yeah, so this is really, really cool, right? Because everything that you just mentioned, like that's included in SHILAJIT, basically gets supercharged or enhanced by fulvic acid that's like perfectly like balanced in the actual substance itself, which is actually allowing those nutrients to go exactly where it needs to go into the body, right? And now the mitochondria can produce more ATP, and obviously when we have more ATP, that's our cellular currency, right? So if we have more energy in our system like a battery, we can basically heal, regenerate, detoxify, we can basically perform better. So that's like in every area of our life, not just perform physically, but also cognitively.
Yes, exactly. And what I can tell that also people who have problems with brain fog and all these things, they told me, okay, we are much better when using these things. And here it is gut-brain connection. Our bacteria, we have 100 more DNA from bacteria in our guts than our own DNA from our own body. And the things that they are producing in our gastrointestinal system goes to our brain through vagus nerve and all these things. So there is non-stop communication. Yeah. And if below the things are not okay, we will have problems with brain fog and all these things. Mm-hmm. And when using SHILAJIT, it helps body get what needs. And for that reason, also the brain fog, the people told me that they are much better. They don't have this brain fogs. Mm-hmm. And another thing, what I would also say is this clear mind. People, we do most mistakes in our life when we are in panics. Yeah. But when we are sharp mind, clear, in peace, this is totally different. And for this reason, it's so much important that we do decision and make decision in our life when we are in peace without any things, because then there will be mistakes and the consequences we will get.
Yeah, they may be irreversible.
Yes.
That's fascinating. Yeah, so basically like everything that has to do with the brain really fascinates me. And, you know, we tend to separate so much, you know, in our society, the brain from the body. But in reality, I like to think of the brain like a plant that's sitting like on the soil, and the body is the soil, right? And basically the roots are running through the body, and how the state of your soil is will impact obviously the state of the flower. So you can't expect your flower to be well if you don't feed it good things, if it doesn't get sunshine, if it doesn't get grounded. Basically, we are like plants, right? But we just like inhale oxygen and they inhale like carbon dioxide instead.
Yes, and exactly this is also the case here. A lot of people are looking in nature, and then they synthesize something through some compounds. They're looking for some mysterious thing, for some specialty. But here in SHILAJIT, you cannot say this thing is particular. No. It's mix of everything what is inside.
It's the balance.
Yes, works in perfect harmony, and this is something that have this impact on our body. And as you very well said, you can test the taste of vegetable or fruit or meat or fish, whatever you want, if it is grown with a lot of pesticides, herbicides, and on large areas and all these things. And you will see that you can eat it, but there is not so much taste inside. But if you do these things in your garden, and you eat it, you see that every vegetable has its own flavor.
Yeah.
you can tell the difference in the beginning already by the taste and how you feel when you are eating the food. And this is something when I find out around 13, 15 years that there are a lot of problems people are having, not just because the decision they are making because of the way they are thinking, but also because they cannot think as they could because their body is not working as it should work.
Yeah, exactly. So what can people expect to experience? Like how long does it take for people to experience the benefits of Shilajit? You mentioned like at the beginning of the podcast that you've started to feel the benefits, after a couple of days, maybe after a week. Like what are some benefits that we already touched a few, like, cognitive clarity, and we already talked about like digestive health. Like what are some other like benefits that people can experience?
So one of the things it is that because the body receives what needs is a hormonal balance. Women are reporting that their menstrual pains are not so big as they were before. Women who have this menopause are reporting that this fever, cold is at least 50% better.
Wow.
Men are reporting that their libido is going higher than it was. And for sure, for sports people, because of the more energy, faster recovery, and all these things, they also see the results. So it is not, as I said, some magic pill, but it's nutrients that our body needs, but our body does not get it because the food is not what it was.
Yes, and thank you for touching on that, because this is like the point that I'm like trying to bring to people is that now our world is like fully, devoid of all the things that we actually need. Even when you try and buy organic or local, the food is still not like as it was 100 years ago, because the soil, unfortunately, is not as it was. And the beauty of Shilajit, as you mentioned, is it's something that is produced over thousands of years. And that is actually what fascinates me about Shilajit, that it's something created by nature and is put in a place that's meant to help people, like, climbing high altitudes, and be able to perform better, but it enhances people's life at low altitudes and basically transforms, the way that people feel because they are deficient in, the modern like food supply. Even worse, like when you don't eat real food. But even if you eat real food, like, even myself, like before I started taking Shilajit, I had to take so many more other supplements to make sure that my system is, balanced before I even discovered Shilajit in the first place.
Yes, and there is another thing that I would like to mention with these organic foods. A lot of organic vegetables are grown not on soil but on water. So when you eat them, it's not the same taste as if you take it from the garden. And so people, we are eating the food, but the food is not as it was. And this is the problem. And then we are having problems because our body cannot work because there is something missing. And as you said, we need sound, we need grounding. We are the only people on planet Earth having something between the planet Earth and ourselves. We have some things on our shoes or something like this. So we disconnect ourselves from the planet. And
awesome. And so basically, like, yeah, you are totally right. So it's all about like stacking, different things together. It's not just about like taking just something and expecting miracles, right? We have to like optimize. Like one thing that Tina, my partner, she wrote about yesterday on her Instagram. She wrote about habit stacking, and that's what's really cool about habit stacking is like you can do this for positive or also negative as well, right? So most people who drink or who smoke normally like to drink a coffee at the same time. I'm not saying that coffee is bad, but like the combination together is probably not the most like ideal thing. So if you want to like transform your life, it's it's really great to be able to pick some healthy habits and to add another like health promoting habit with it, which then makes it more automated. Like myself, like I like to wake up with the sunrise, not only because I like it, but because it's beneficial for my health and my circadian rhythm, and to go outside and see the natural light. But I also like to do it drinking my shilajit, for example, like remineralizing my body, waking my organs up, and feeling like alive and ready to start the day. So this is like something that's really big, if people could take some inspiration.
Yes, and I'm always telling to people, you are responsible for your life, and it's very good to make good choices, because everybody are free to make decision whatever we want, but the consequence, we get what we choose.
That's true. That's true. Like, yeah, this is something that I discussed with another guest on the podcast. We talked about taking ownership and responsibility of one's health. Like, it's so important because only you care the most, to be honest, about your health. Like, no matter how much you think somebody else cares about your health, you will probably care the most, right? So that means that you have to just take the ownership and the responsibility to do the research and to learn, and also to take action. I think that is the most important thing, right? To take action, because in daily life we can learn so much. We can read 1,000 books and listen to hundreds of podcasts, but if we don't apply the things in our life, if we are not consistent, what is the point, right? We are just basically a walking library without seeing any results.
Exactly. And there is one thing that I would also like to mention, that it is losing in our time quite a lot. It is my whatever I take in my body, is it shilajit or food or whatever. There is one very good habit that people became, how is it said, happy, or not, it is not happy, grateful. Yes, that I'm grateful for Mother Nature for producing these things, that now these things will become part of my body. And this gratitude is something that really change everything. And this is something missing a lot also on this planet Earth, because people are eating things, okay, it's normal. No. This gratitude, something, because Mother Nature needed quite a lot of time, or for shilajit, or for whatever you put in your mouth.
Absolutely.
And this gratitude in the beginning, this I can tell that I did a lot of research. It changed the energetic structure and also the aura when they measured the aura of the food without gratefulness, and with gratefulness, it changed. Everything changed.
Yeah, it's really cool that you mentioned about that. Thank you for reminding me, because at the beginning, you mentioned about when you did the testing, that you did this more like bioenergetic testing, which is actually fascinating to me, because that's a big area which I'm really interested in, spirituality and electromagnetism and everything of the unseen, because we think as human beings that everything that we see with our eyes, or that we can touch, or that we can hear or taste or smell, this is all that exists. But in reality, there is some bigger force that is controlling everything, right? Like when you look at nature, when you look at the waves, when you look at the structure of the plants, there is like this sacred geometry built into, the actual nature itself, if you look closer. And when you compare that to the human body, like the cells, like nerve cells, to the galaxy or the Milky Way or whatever, like they look like almost identical. So clearly there is this fractal pattern which is being repeated over and over and over. And it seems that when we consume things which are in their true nature, untouched and unmodified, like Shilajit is, then we are able to sort of reharmonize our body.
Yes, exactly. And you very nicely said, there are trillions of things going on in our human body, but nobody takes care of it because it's automatic. Liver is doing something, I'm breathing, everything is automatic. But if you are just a little intelligent and you think, who program all these things that this is working in such a great harmony?
Yeah.
And then you realize there is something higher than me. It doesn't matter how you call it. This is not a question.
Exactly. Yeah.
But there is something higher. And you can just bow to this highness. And then also everything is changing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so basically, like, what do you believe that, because you mentioned that if you take Shilajit before meditation, that it can help you, to enhance your meditation. Do you feel that's because of like the physical properties, or it's like the combination of the energetic aspect as well? Because, when you go to different locations of the world, you probably heard about this, that there are some locations in the world which are more energetically charged naturally, right? So like if you go to the pyramids, if you go to different areas where there is these natural strong vortexes or strong energy fields, which can sort of change your brain waves or your consciousness.
Yes. So what I can tell, when we did this measurement, and we do it more or less with every batch that we are getting, we are also checking the impact on our chakras, on our 7 chakras. And I can tell that Shilajit has impact on every chakra. So
Wow.
this vortex or chakras on our body, we have at least 116 or even more. When I did some researches and studies, they are saying that they are much more, but they are the 7 the biggest, and then also all the others. But what I can say that when we checked how it has the impact also on our chakras, there is an impact on all of them. Some of them 100%, some of them 60-70% impact.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, different kind of consciousness and all these things. There is something, what I can tell, when I was around 20 years old, I was in one group for meditation, and it was first time in my life that I heard the sound. After the sound, I saw the light. I didn't feel my body anymore. And at that point, this was 30 years ago, it was my own experience and realization that we are much more than just body.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, it's truly incredible when you realize that, going back to the gratitude aspect, like, how, like when you show respect to what you consume, also that even amplifies the effect, because even studies on gratitude have shown that, like, even from Dr. Joy Dispenza's work, like how much of a big impact, biological impact it can have on us. So that means that something that wasn't tangible becomes tangible. And yes, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So what I was gonna say was, it's like when you have a thought, and the thought just comes out of nowhere. You don't know where the thought came from. You have an idea, you think it's your idea, and then you take a pencil and you write down that idea, or you draw that idea, and afterwards you go to your 3D printer on the computer, and then you print it, and now it was something that was electromagnetic, which is a thought, right? Something invisible, and now it's becoming something tangible that you can hold in front of you. So it shows you that, like, this is exactly how we are operating, right? Every single biological process in the body is governed by electromagnetic impulses that our brain is sending out, but also something that higher that is controlling our brain as well. And then afterwards, everything is working biochemically orchestrated because of the electromagnetism. But let's say when the voltage or when the electricity is not traveling through the system as it should, the electrical system or the wiring, then we start to have like biochemical, dysfunctions, and then therefore like a downstream effect of other issues.
Yes, and the only thing that I will add to this, it is that it's not only the way of thinking. You need to feel with your heart this gratitude and all these things, because our heart, it produces 100 more energy or these waves than our mind. This is Institute of Heart Math in California, they proved it. So it's not just heart, but it's also much higher, just this physical pump that a lot of people are saying is just pumping the heart. So what I wanted to say is just with this gratitude, it's not just, okay, now I'm gratitude for this. You need to really feel it sincere from your heart, and then everything changes.
Mm. Absolutely. Yeah, this is very, very true. It's more like a feeling rather than a thought, because it's easy to think that I am to say it in your mind rather than to have the experience. This is what is the how they say that if you want to manifest something in your life, or to attract something, or to get an answer to your question, it's not so much about thinking about it, but more about feeling how you would feel in that situation. So therefore, then we are attracting, it's almost like we are magnets. We are attracting similar frequency bands, or we are tuning into different radio stations based on the frequency that we are putting out or that we are becoming, because every moment we have an opportunity to change. And that is the power of the human being and any living organism on this planet, that has consciousness. Like, you could say that everything has consciousness, including this building, but basically, like, to different like levels and extent. And as human beings, we can in a way like manipulate reality. In this instant, we can decide whether we are happy or whether we are sad based on the biochemical, our neurotransmitters that we are producing in the brain, just from the thoughts and the feelings themselves.
Yes, and this is something what I'm also always telling the people, because I also, before this with the Mountain Drop, my prior work, it was lecturing in companies as a trainer for leadership, communication, time management, and all these things. And I'm still doing these things today. I have every week from 2 to 4 different workshops or coachings with in business. And what I can say, it is you cannot change, you cannot predict what will happen to you, but you have always control how you will respond. And because you are free, you can respond the way you decide. It's your own way how you will respond to it. But because of this free will, you are also responsible for what you will do. And this I read in one book a few days ago. You are free to do whatever you want. And because of this freedom, you have responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. And basically, we keep on repeating those patterns in our life. If they are even negative ones, let's assume that we are most likely going to be experiencing, because our brain is mainly wired towards negativity. And there is a reason for that, right? Because our body and our biology is built for survival, so it's always looking out for threat. But in a modern world where we have so much conveniences and we have everything that we need, we just need to rewire our brain that everything is okay, we are safe. And some of the things that we have control of, as you mentioned, is like in every moment is the way that we feel and the way that we think, but also how we breathe, because all of this is like interconnected, right? And by controlling our breath, we can control so many other parts of our system, right? We are controlling the cardiovascular system, which is having downstream effects of many, many other systems of the body, like the digestive system and so on.
Yes, and this is something that I'm also telling to people. You can live without the food quite a lot of days. You can live without the water. You can few days, but then without water. But you cannot live so much without water than without food. But then you stop breathing, and if your brain does not get the oxygen, few seconds, it can be damage to your brain on the long term. So the much more important thing, what you eat and what you drink, it's how you are breathing. Yeah. And this how we are breathing, a lot of people do not do it consciously, because I'm breathing, it's okay, but it's not, because if I'm not breathing right, then the whole system will have problem. So everything is connected.
When you mentioned now about the breathing, it reminded me, like when I was reading about the people who hike at high altitudes, one of the reasons why SHILAJIT is actually so beneficial for them is because it improves the oxygen carrying capacity inside of the system. So basically now their body now is able to utilize oxygen more efficiently. And so now that means that they are not so much out of breath. So that means that they can breathe basically more calm, because your ability to absorb oxygen and your CO2 tolerance, so your carbon dioxide tolerance, will determine your breathing patterns really. So if you are very well conditioned to high CO2 levels, and if you're able to absorb oxygen efficiently in your system, your breathing will naturally be more calm. So that's another awesome benefit of Shilajit.
Yes, and there is one interesting story. There is one legend how SHILAJIT was discovered, and
Okay.
that was people, I don't know, is it called in English, the sheep, that they had this sheep on this long high altitudes, and they found that this sheep started leaking some black substance, and this was SHILAJIT. This was one story, and another story. One is from Altai and one from Himalaya. That they saw that monks saw monkeys leaking something from the mountains, and it was this SHILAJIT. So because this SHILAJIT, it goes down through the mountains like a blood if you cut from the hand, and when it goes down through the mountains, it absorbs the minerals from the mountains. So there are huge process going on, and I was really astonished when I find out that even now in this modern civilization, we do not know how SHILAJIT is produced. There is one mysticism behind it.
Yeah, well, this is the beautiful thing, and the fact that it has so many incredible, benefits for human. I think that's such a blessing and a gift to the world. Actually, I would like to talk about the does it have any like probiotics or prebiotics in it? Because obviously it's something that is, growing or being produced outside, right, in an area which is open. Like, so I can assume that it must have many compounds if it's made from let's say the decomposition of plants and matter of earth over millions of years or thousands of years. Basically, we can assume that all of this is going to be incredible, like feeding food for the gut, like prebiotics, right?
Yes. So in this field, we didn't do any research yet how much of these prebiotics or probiotics the SHILAJIT contains, because when they purify it from this or other things, but for sure, what I can say, it has a good impact on our gut and this microflora. This is for sure. Because the food that bacteria in our gut is eating is what you said are prebiotics, because prebiotics are not for our body, it's not for the muscle and all these things, but it's only for our bacteria in our gut. And so here, honestly, I didn't do a lot of research about these prebiotics inside the SHILAJIT. What I found out was only this, that because of these organic components that came from plants or some other things, that these have the good impact on our gut and this microbiome in our gut.
Yeah, I just somehow made this assumption because, if you just think about anything really that grows outside, it's literally growing on it like living organisms, right? So I can imagine that if it's just sitting there open, like, in the wild, basically you can imagine how many living organisms it's accumulating, and how much actually of that is actually contributing to a lot of the benefits as well that we don't even know yet.
Yes, and there is also another thing that, as I mentioned before, there is not singular substance or nutrition in SHILAJIT that you can say, okay, this one is responsible. No, but all the things together working in harmony are producing that our body gets what it needs, and because of this, the body can do what needs to be done.
Yeah, and that makes total sense. Yeah, it's just, but like it's like saying, like what you're saying to me right now is if somebody took Shilajit and tried to extract every single component separately, and then you would like take one of them, it wouldn't have the same, biological effect as you taking the whole thing in synergy together.
Yes, and what I can also say this with 100% sure, you can do with this SHILAJIT and put it in laboratory and said there is this, and this, and then with all these 85 or 100 or I don't know how many different things you will come up. You get it from different sources or that they are artificially, and then you put this together and you said now this is SHILAJIT. Oh, no. It will not work because only life can produce life. And there is something behind this. It's not just that we think it's only a chemical formula. No.
Yeah.
There is something behind, as we spoke before. There is some higher intelligence. There is some
organizing everything.
Yes, in perfect harmony.
Amazing. Well, tell us a little bit about, any other exciting products that you have, like at Mountain Drop. I know, like I've tried your Prime, and I've tried also your, was it the ashwagandha honey, which is really, really actually powerful, and I found massive benefit in that, in actually reducing my stress levels. Not that I'm a very stressed person, but like if I'm taxed throughout the day with lots of tasks to do, I find that, well, number one, the honey is like, raising my insulin, so that's shutting down cortisol. But another one, like ashwagandha, is also being well researched for reducing cortisol levels in the body as well, right?
Yes. So both SHILAJIT and ashwagandha are adaptogen. That means they are reducing the what you said, the cortisol. And according to Ayurveda, yes, the stress hormones. There are two basically stress hormones. One is adrenaline and another cortisol. Adrenaline is coming up immediately, but if you have cortisol coming up on the long run, that means that your body is in stress. Yes. And here SHILAJIT and ashwagandha works very well together. And according to Ayurveda, this is one of the best combination of that means ashwagandha and SHILAJIT, and we combine it with honey because, as I said, to go deeper in the body, there is this honey is really a magic thing. And what I can say, it really calms the nerve system, and it's helping here a lot. And we have in plan to do 4 more things.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it was already planned to be in live in September, but I think they will prolong a few months because of some things that we need to take care of them. But one of them you already mentioned is Prime, testosterone booster. We did a lot of researches about it, and because we got a lot of complaints from people all over the world that their testosterone level is low. And then I was thinking, and also our team that I'm working with, we were thinking, but where is the problem? And then we find out. One is stress. So people are all the time nervous and all the time in stress. So the body has only one program, fight and fly. Then another thing is food. The food is not as it was, and because of the stress, and food is not, the people are not eating the right food. And the third thing that is the most common, there is not a lot of exercises. People do not exercise. And these 3 things together, the testosterone level goes down. It's not a problem when you are 18 or 20 years old. You can eat whatever you want, you can drink whatever you want, your body is working fine. When we did researches, when people started using some supplements or all these things, when they are 40 and above, because then you see, my body is not the same as it was when it was 20 years old. I did never do fasting before 50, because for me it was okay. Food supplements for me was fine. But now when I'm 50, I find out that if I knew for this before, I would already do it before. So then you see that your body is not the same as it was, and you need to take care of it. And when you take care of your body, then you see how things is going on. And what we did, we find on this planet Earth a lot of researchers of the herbs that are natural. That means it's not some artificial or synthetic things from somewhere, but natural things on this planet Earth that have proven impact on our system. And what I can say that with all this research and then with the testimonial that we got from people was very, they were very, very happy with the results. And some also sent us their testosterone measurement before and after the usage, and they were really remarkable results. And for me, as I can say, combination of SHILAJIT, because there is fulvic acid inside that helps human body to work on better, yes, and to absorb better the nutrition and to work on better level than it was before.
Yeah.
This combination really came out as very, very good. And here people reported that only after a few days of using this saw huge improvements. And this makes me happy because then I know that we are doing the right things. And what I can also say is that if you check our Trustpilot score, this was something that came out from my older son a few years ago. He asked me, "Father, why you have these testimonials from people?" I said, "Because that other people see it." And he told me, "What if they will think that they are fake?" And I said, "They are not fake." And then we start thinking, and he told me about this Trustpilot, and I say, "Okay, let's show the world that we are honest, that we have one third company behind to check that all the testimonials from people are real." Mm-hmm. And with all these feedbacks, I can also say that I was surprised about the results of Prime, and this makes me very happy.
I can see that like the effort that you put into the product was very, very much, because when I check the ingredients even behind, because I know all those single ingredients individually, and so when you research those, all of those alone just themselves have very potent ability in the body. So you did a really great job of putting them all into one product in unison. One really important question I had actually about the Prime was, what's your thoughts on about women taking it? Because I feel that this could be a very beneficial supplement for women as well.
Yes, so that was the questions that we also got. And what I can say, there are some ingredients that I think inside that are better working with men.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, for that reason, we are developing one product just for women and another product just for the brain fog. So we are combining the SHILAJIT with other herbs that are proven to work on some other things. Yes. So we did all the research already. We already have a formula for all these 3 new products. The only thing it is that we need to take care of some other things, bureaucracy, to put these things in life. But as I said, we already planned to have all these things live in September this year, but it seems that it will postpone for a few months. But nevertheless, what I wanted to say with all these things, whatever we do, whatever we launch, there are quite a lot of researchers behind it. It is not we take this, and this, but and not just this. All the ingredients that we are having on the end, we are also measuring this energy field on the whole product.
Amazing.
And yes, so I know that whatever goes out from ours, it is measured in laboratory, also with this energy, so I know the things is as it should be. And what I would like to mention, we also enhance our body shape revival formula. We have this body shape revival already 2 years, and the feedback that we got from women, it was that the product it's quite good for fat, for burning fat, either for men or for women. But for cellulite, they are not so much satisfied. And then I spoke with our development team, and I told them, look, we need to improve the formula. We need to do something on this field. And we did it. And we increased some substances inside, and now the formula, this should work. We will see how will be the feedback. But what I can say from test group that we did, it's very remarkable results. And we did this new formula a few months ago. So what I would like to say with this, it is that we are also developing. It's not this is it, but from the feedback, yes, from the feedback that we got from community of our users, they help us to become even better.
You know what I love like about everything that you do, you have like such great intention behind it. And this is like something that I personally believe that is so important for any business, that no matter what they are putting out there, that you have pure good intentions and that you truly want to help people. And that really shows in your products. And I really appreciate you coming on the podcast today, Peter. Thank you so much for your time. And I will make sure to link to everything that Peter has been talking about in the show notes below. And people can find also a nice discount code as well. And thank you so much, and talk to you soon, Peter.
Thank you, Andreas, for inviting me.